Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of your Daily Guides, the series where I dive into in-depth guides and walkthroughs of games like Honkai Star Rail, Zenless, and Weathering Waves. Today's video will focus on Nefer, who will finally make her debut in Genshin Impact version 6.1, Luna 2, arriving as a 5-star Dendro Catalyst and the head of the Curatorium of Secrets in the new region, Nod-Krai. The big question every player is asking right now is, should you pull for Nefer? In this detailed breakdown, we'll go through everything you need to know: her abilities, strengths, weaknesses, team compositions, and how she stacks up compared to other Dendro units, so you can decide if she's worth your Primogems. Nefer launches in Phase 1 of version 6.1 alongside Furina's rerun, beginning on October 22, 2025. The second phase features Jonali and Alakino, so players need to plan their Primogems carefully. Let's talk about her abilities. Nefer's playstyle revolves around a new reaction mechanic called Lunar Bloom, an evolution of the classic Dendro Hydro Bloom reaction. Unlike Standard Bloom, Lunar Bloom's damage can crip and scales heavily with Elemental Mastery. This single detail completely changes how Dendro teams function, as Nefer becomes a rare Dendro DPS who benefits from both Elemental Mastery and critical stats simultaneously. Her elemental skill, Senate Strategy, Dance of 1,000 Nights, lets her enter a state called Shadow Dance, where her charged attack transforms into a special ability known as Phantasm Performance. During this mode, Nefer consumes nearby Verdant Dew, energy particles created by Lunar Bloom reactions, to unleash powerful, critable bursts of Dendro damage. This Phantasm Performance is her main source of damage and is stamina-free, allowing for fluid on-field play. Her elemental burst, Sacred Vow, True Eyes Phantasm, consumes accumulated Veil stacks and releases an immense wave of Dendro energy that amplifies her following attacks. It synergizes perfectly with her skill and strengthens both her Lunar Bloom and Phantasm Performance outputs. Passive talents tied to the Moon Sign mechanic enhance this synergy further by granting extra elemental mastery and bonus damage when Verdant Dew is consumed. Altogether, her kit rewards aggressive, high elemental mastery gameplay while demanding proper reaction setups and timing, perfect for players who enjoy mechanically engaging DPS characters. To understand Nefer's power, you need to grasp how Lunar Bloom functions. When Dendro meets Hydro under the new Nod-Krai conditions, typically involving Lauma or other Moon Sign characters, special Lunar Cores or Verdant Dews are generated. Unlike traditional Bloom Cores, Lunar Bloom allows Nefer to trigger direct damage instances herself. These scale with elemental mastery and can crit, letting her combine reaction scaling with her own multipliers for exceptional burst potential. So the big questions come to mind. Is it worth pulling for her? For free-to-play players, deciding whether to pull for Nefer comes down to two things: team synergy and resource value. Nefer is an incredible on-field Dendro DPS, but her performance depends heavily on having proper Hydro supports and investment into elemental mastery gear. If you're someone who doesn't already own consistent Hydro applicators like Furina, Yelan, or Kokomi, Nefer's damage ceiling will be noticeably lower. Her kit relies on maintaining constant Hydro Dendro reactions to generate Verdant Dew particles for her Lunar Bloom mechanic. Without steady Hydro uptime, those reactions break and her entire kit loses rhythm and efficiency. That said, she's still usable for free-to-play teams, just not at her full potential. You can pair her with the free Hydro character Aino, introduced in Nod-Krai's Archon Quest, or even Barbara, who can provide decent Hydro application early on. A free-to-play friendly lineup like Nefer plus Aino plus Kuki Shinobu plus Dendro Traveler will still be able to clear most Spiral Abyss content comfortably, though rotations are slower and energy management will be more demanding. Nefer's playstyle will feel more tactical and reactive in these teams, rather than flashy and constant like when paired with 5-star supports. From a value standpoint, Nefer is what we would call a long-term investment character. At C0, she performs very well with proper builds. No constellations are needed for her to function. However, her weapon banner, Reliquary of Truth, offers her a significant power boost that most free-to-play players won't be able to chase. That means you'll be relying on craftable catalysts like Black Marrow Lantern or Sacrificial Fragments. Thankfully, her kit scales primarily with Elemental Mastery, so even a 4-star catalyst can carry her far if you build her correctly. Her damage scaling is efficient enough that investing in her talents and Elemental Mastery artifacts gives meaningful returns even without the 5-star weapon. Another advantage for free-to-play players is that Nefer is future-proofed. The new Lunar Bloom reaction type, introduced in 6.1, is expected to expand with upcoming characters and artifacts. Pulling Nefer now could set you up for synergy with later additions that boost Moon Sign or Verdant Dew mechanics. This makes her a worthwhile pull for players who plan long-term rather than chasing meta shifts each patch. But however, there are two main reasons to skip her as a free-to-play player. First, her setup complexity. Nefer's optimal rotation involves managing reaction timing, positioning, and consuming Verdant Dew efficiently. If you prefer straightforward characters who deal consistent damage with minimal setup, like Ito, Ayaka, or Sino, Nefer might feel restrictive. Her full kit only shines in properly tuned reaction teams, which can feel punishing if you lack the right supports. Second, Primogem opportunity cost. The 6.1 patch is stacked. Nefer shares her banner with Farina's rerun, and Phase 2 features Zhongli and Aino. All of these are top-tier characters who offer more universal value. Zhongli provides unmatched shielding and utility for all teams. Aino remains one of the strongest single-target DPS characters in the game. If your roster lacks a sturdy shielder or a reliable all-content damage dealer, those banners might offer more account-wide benefits than Nefer's specialized playstyle. Still, Nefer holds strong appeal if you love Dendro gameplay and reaction mechanics. She's a great free-to-play friendly main DPS in the sense that she doesn't demand constellations, her scaling isn't locked behind weapon rarity, and she synergizes well with several free or easily obtainable units. If you already enjoy Nahida, Kukushinobu, or Traveler, adding Nefer will elevate your existing teams to a more dynamic, reaction-driven playstyle. So, for free-to-play players, pull Nefer if you enjoy learning intricate rotations, love Dendro-based reactions, and plan to build your team gradually over time, but skip her if you're still establishing your core roster, lack Hydra supports, or want a simpler, plug-and-play DPS option. She's not a universal solution, she's a precision instrument, best in the hands of players who enjoy optimizing team synergies and mastering timing. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and found it helpful, make sure to subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.